Okay, now scooping. Scooping is tricky because even when you're scooping, it does sound a little bit awkward. The goal isn't for them to read in this perfectly scooped way. It's just, I see it as a bridge to getting them to go from reading word to word to word to seeing that there are phrases within a longer sentence. And, some of them are obvious, like in the rain goes together. So it's just a way to get them to, one, reread several times and to find, I think it helps with comprehension too, because it's like, why do those words go together? It helps them get their flow. So it's interesting because often when we'll look back and talk about how to scoop it, they might not read it exactly how they scooped it, but they've read it so many times that then they do end up developing their flow. So for example, not all texts are as easy to do scooping with. Like there's some sentences here that I think are tricky. So we have Blair and Dean. So we know those go together because that's telling us who our sentence is about. And I think this part's tricky. So I might say, well, let's try this. Blair and Dean, do we want to say are roaming east or are roaming east on trails? So you could try both of them and just show how it would sound. Blair and Dean are roaming east on trails in the rain. If that sounds too choppy, Blair and Dean are roaming east on trails in the rain. And then I talk about, it's kind of, this tells us who, this tells us kind of what they're doing and where, and this tells us a more detail in the rain. They see a quail, a toad, and a crow. Now this one already kind of has it for us. So we have, they see a quail. That kind of can all go together. They see a quail, but then commas tell us already that we need to be pausing. And this is a great opportunity to talk about commas and why those commas are there. They're listing more than one thing. So they see a quail, a toad, and a crow. This is just one big thing. They are getting soaked. And if you have a student that wants to say, they are getting soaked, that's okay for now, because if they're even just grouping those two words, they are getting soaked. If that's how they try it, but I'll model for them, actually, if we can put all those words together, they are getting soaked. They can kind of all flow together. Again, Blair slips on a leaf. That can be just a stepping stone for them. And then, or you could, Blair slips on a leaf. That could all go together. Blair slips, I know my students would probably go, on a leaf. Ouch, she screams. So, ouch, she screams. Opportunity to talk about, that's character voice, and that's our narrator voice. I think I have a sprain. So I'm going to go on to where it's, okay, this one's kind of a longer sentence. The longer sentences are the best ones. So Dean sees that Blair will need help to get home. So it could be, Dean sees that Blair will need help to get home. And I kind of, how would that sound? Dean sees that Blair will need help to get home. That still kind of sounds choppy to me. Maybe you want to try, Dean sees that Blair will need help to get home. Maybe that sounds a little bit better. So I sometimes get messages about the right way to do it. I don't even know that there's a right way or a wrong way. I think if they're finding a way to put it together in meaningful phrases. Now, I guess there is a wrong way, because if you do break up, there's certain words that you don't want to break up. Like you don't want to say, they go as slow as a snail, because we know that as a snail definitely wants to go together, right? Or in the rain. So if you see them splitting it right here, that's where they're splitting it, that's an opportunity to say in the rain goes together. Those ones definitely go together. So there are ones that definitely go together, but in some cases, like I've been showing you, there's some flexibility. Blair moans and groans as she takes each step. We can do each step together. Sorry, it's sloppy because I'm holding the phone. If you don't want it to be this crazy sloppy, you can also do just a mark. When they get home late in the night, you can do a mark like that. Dean sighs, and then the mark, so I'm pausing. I felt like it would take a year to get home. So I felt like it would take a year to get home. Anyway, I hope this is helpful.